CohhCarnage thoughts on Stellar Blade.
With a quick early thoughts video, this time on Stellar Blade. When I first saw this game, I was a little optimistic. It looked pretty cool, but have to admit, there were certain assets this game had, which made me a little concerned about it.
It's funny he says that because I was the exact same way. Whenever I saw this game the first time, I thought it didn't really look that good. And because there were a lot of animation attack sequences, I thought that most of the cool methods of combat in this game were going to be quick time events. It was not true, but that's what my first inclination was.
Into their assets, that sometimes can mean the gameplay suffers.
What he's saying is that it's a game that could be made in Unreal 5 that looks amazing, but is a complete piece of fucking garbage that should have never been made and it should have never existed. But because people were able to market the game as looking good, then people buy it anyway. Yeah, that's definitely true.
So, and that's not in all cases, Nier being a great example. But, in a lot of cases, that's just kind of how it is. The whole kind of, assets sell things.
Yeah.
So maybe the game doesn't need as much of that other stuff to kind of, carry the weight as it is. So when I first started playing Stellar Blade, I did not play the demo, for the record.
And if he's talking about the character being hot, I also feel the same way. Like whenever I see something that's over-sexualized, I usually just assume it's a bad game. I do. I'm just like, okay, well, this is probably just stupid. Same, yeah.
I approached it from a joking angle, kind of like, oh, let's see how this is. Let's see how the game is.
Yeah, sure.
Went in with relatively mid to low expectations.
All right.
I've now spent about 4 hours with the game.
Oh.
And I can safely say that Stellar Blade is awesome. It is actually a really cool, well-made, fun game.
It's a good game. Yeah, I remember yesterday whenever I ended my stream, I've been thinking about playing it again all day today.
And the thing about Stellar Blade that made me really kind of fundamentally realize that I was having a good time is the same feeling that hit me about midway through the recent Fallout TV show.
Oh.
And what that was is there was about halfway through the Fallout TV show, something clicked for me, and that is I'm a huge Fallout fan. And I'm loving this show. But I would
Wait, I've never even seen this menu before. I had no idea this even existed. That's crazy. There's an item menu? What? That's wow.
This show, if it had nothing to do with Fallout. And when I realized that is when I realized that oh, maybe this is a really good show. And I feel that way about Stellar Blade, where it's kind of like after playing it for a little bit, I kind of realized wait a second, this is just a great game.
Yeah.
I would play this game if it had no phenomenal assets.
Right.
It's just a solid action game. It's got very cool advancements.
No, I mean, for me, I don't even like playing female protagonists in games. I like playing a guy. But, if it's a good game, I'm still going to play it. Yeah.
Then, mechanics. The combat feels a little
It's because I'm gay. That's true.
So it has this... The combat feels a little slower than traditional action games, but that's because there's kind of this built-in micro delay / queuing system that makes it so I feel like parrying and blocking is a little easier.
Yeah.
I think some people will just look at it and go, this feels like input delay, and I don't like it.
It does feel like input delay, and I don't like it.
When I first started using the combat system, it did feel a little bit weird. But then when you learn about the parry system and you realize that the parry system kind of almost overrides that delay a little bit.
It does.
If you're having that slightly delay feeling,
it does. They even talked about that on the beta.
Combat, but the enemy starts to attack. Parry feels like it has no delay. So it creates this weird feeling where it's kind of the damage dealing part of and the dodging part of combat feels the slightest bit delayed, but the parries actually feel pretty on point. So it's kind of it's an interesting weird feeling that's not normal. But some people I think say it feels a little uncomfortable. For me, after using it for a little bit, it started feeling great. So yeah, there is a little bit of a delay, but it lets parrying be a lot more kind of it makes it more intuitive almost in some ways. But anyway, let's go back to the thoughts video. Combat after a little bit feels fine / good. Advancement
Combat is good in the game. True.
mechanics, they're palpable and look good as well.
They're okay. Like I don't like some of the upgrade mechanics I think are a little bit stale, but the reason why I think it's okay is because it has the whole talent tree. And like you can level up your character through the talent tree. So anything that like I would feel is like not super great with the other stuff is kind of overridden by the talent tree.
Lots of skills to get. Enemy variety is awesome. I've really liked the enemies so far I've encountered in this game. They're unique, they're weird.
Yeah, they're good.
I dig it. Level design, great. Lots of verticality, lots of little off the main path hidden stuff. Really enjoying that as well. Tons of loot everywhere. It's been really enjoyable. Music's been good, although a little repetitive.
Music is very repetitive. It could get a lot better because yeah, I feel like I'm always listening to the same track over and over and over.
Yeah, overall, just at the end of my early thoughts video here, game is good. Stellar Blade, solid. I don't want to call it a Souls-like, but solid kind of action.
Yeah, it's a Souls-like
style game. It's not really a Neo. It's not really a Dark Souls.
If you dodge, it's Souls-like.
Really
that's how it is.
It firmly is in kind of that action combat.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry. You're doing combos, that kind of.
Is there dodging? Okay, yes, it's Dark Souls.
And definitely enjoying it. So anyway, that's it right now. So far, Stellar Blade has been awesome. I do only have like 4 hours into it. I'm planning on at least finishing the main story, and maybe we'll make a more thorough thoughts video when we get to the end, because I've heard some mixed things about the stories and characters. Some people are claiming they absolutely love them, and others are claiming they're like super one-dimensional. I don't know yet. We'll see, but
I bet that the characters do seem like the story doesn't seem like it's that special at all, but the character design is S tier. Like whether it's like that girl in that one like bar or like the old guy, oh, it's so good.
It'll be fun. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the stream. Twitch.tv/CohhCarnage. See you then.
There it is. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I feel like the game, like most games for me, get better as I spend more time playing them. Like, at the beginning, like, generally my opinion of a game will be at its lowest at the beginning because I won't really understand or appreciate what the game is about. And then as I play more of it, as I invest more time into it, then finally I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to get it. Now I know what I'm talking about. I can start playing this more, you know, or start enjoying it more. The characters are boring. Yeah, I think they're kind of boring too, to be honest. I do. I don't find them particularly interesting either. Would it still be a good game without the girl controversy? I think that Stellar Blade has better combat than Lies of P. I think that it does. And I thought Lies of P was an incredible game. So, like, Lies of P is a great game. Stellar Blade is better, in my opinion. Which makes sense, right? I mean, like, obviously, you know, the people that made Stellar Blade are more experienced. They have more resources, and they made a better game. I think Lies of P is good, but I think Stellar Blade is better. Stellar Blade's parry is better. I just think a lot of things about it are better, to be honest with you. It's not just like one thing, it's a lot of things.